Okay. Good morning, everybody out there in YouTube world. I'm John from Two Angry Ducks, and as most of you were, this morning I was woken up by the prospect of the next chapter in the DC Cinematic Extended Universe, whatever the hell that anagram is. We have the new trailer for the Justice League movie up here. Before we go into this, I may say some things some of you may not like, but if it's not known to you, I'm much more of a Marvel fan than I am a DC fan, hence the reason the only DC kind of shirt that I have is actually Moose Man instead of Batman, but visually it gets the job done, and who doesn't love Moose Man? We all know that DC can make a phenomenal trailer. That's not in question, because I mean, we've seen it before, they know exactly what to do. They have very much kind of captured this this formula that Guardians of the Galaxy's put out there, insert a lot of action. A lot of crazy and a classic old song. And proceed to release. Now we'll see how this goes in there, because with Zack Snyder having such a heavy hand in this, we know that he is a director who succeeds well and most frequently in the visual area. He knows how to produce a shot. He knows how to make it look cool. He knows how to make it look good, and he rolls from there. Story and substance, we will remain mood on it for now. But yeah, the characters look interesting. I gotta say, you got Wonder Woman over there. She's leading the charge.
Shall we?
Batman over there, being Batman as we've all seen him, he's never really not been awesome. He looks like he's got some kind of bat gorilla mech as it's punching down, he's climbing a wall. Come together. And then Aquaman's drunk, he looks like most of the time.
It's on him. It's strange.
Cyborg, a robot with half a human face.
You should probably move.
It looks like is interesting. They gave him something to finally do, so it's nice to kind of see him in action. The Flash looks like he's going to be annoying and kind of a shithead.
What are your superpowers again?
To the other guys, but that's the kind of comedic relief you need from their youngest character. It looks like, of course, with any team-up movie, you're going to have some cross-fighting. I do notice that Flash and Cyborg are going at it a little bit. I'm sure somebody else will at some point. I want it to do good, but DC just has not found a way to do that yet, really. I'm just not a huge fan of the DC universe, and before the escalade of fanboy attack comes with the, but what about Batman? What about Batman? Batman, 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 Batman! I understand, Batman's awesome. No one is going to deny Batman's awesome. He's an American treasure, okay? But he's also the only thing in DC worth any two shits. Superman, Ultimate Boy Scout, and his plot devices, you can't fucking beat him. He's got the same problem that Hulk has in Marvel, where he's the top of the doghouse. And if you're at the top of the doghouse and that's your status quo, you're not going to change that too much in your 60, 70, God, what are we on, 80-year run now? So, not interested in him. Wonder Woman, fantastic. Love the way you fight crime. I think that women and everybody else needs the representation that you provide to it, because otherwise it's just a bunch of white dudes saving the universe. Again, same kind of deal as Superman. You're a deity, and that's just never been my shtick. Aquaman falls into the same thing as Wonder Woman. They've tried to kind of mix him a little bit with the 1990s Aquaman, who has his hand eaten off by piranhas by, I believe, Black Manta. Pushes his hand in water and piranhas eat his hand off, which is curious, because if your one fucking superpower is to talk to fish, don't you think you might at least try to ask him not to eat your fucking hand? Oh yeah, Cyborg, new guy to the team. He really only kind of got placed on there more recently to add to the diversity effect on the core 7 Justice League superheroes, which is great. Love to see it again. He spent most of his time on the Teen Titans, so I'm excited. He's probably one of the ones I'm most excited to see in this movie, because I'm hoping they're going to be able to flesh him out a little bit more. And then of course there's the Flash, and he's just going to be your smart mouth Spider-Man character flying around funny. I'm sure he'll be funny. I'm sure it'll be interesting. I am a Grant Gustin fan, so we'll see how Urza's able to take up the mantle over here, but so far, I haven't hated it. But that, of course, brings us back to Batman, and why he's been about the only thing DC has been able to do successfully on a regular basis within their universe. With Batman, the reason the Christopher Nolan movies have worked so well is because they gave him the control he needed to tell the story. And that is the element that is sincerely missing in the rest of these DC properties. Now, you gave that risk to Zack Snyder, and Man of Steel, didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I thought it was an interesting take, and unlike most people, I defend the decision to snap Zod's neck. That was brave of you guys, because that's going counter to the character for quite many years. And it also puts him in an interesting aspect, because if you consider that a young Superman has to make this choice of this is his first real, big slug it out superpower fight, and he's at this point where he doesn't know how to solve this problem. He's got somebody who is just as strong as him, slowly getting stronger as he's out in the sun and building up his steam and building up strength. He's quickly running out of options in that movie to take him out, and so or to save these people very specifically in that subway station. So I think that the choice to have him break Zod's neck was justified, and I think that you really could have taken that and run the character with that. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think Superman needs to go running around snapping necks over here to make himself relevant anymore, but I think that if you use that first example as him drawing the line in the sand for the character, being like, okay, I had to kill this guy, that was fucking horrible. Not doing it again. That's brilliant. That shows change. That shows justifiable reasons for a character's actions and their motivations. That's not what happened in Batman vs. Superman, if you all remember that. I was very disappointed about that in the movie, because one of the first things that he does is proceeds to find Lois Lane and then flies a gentleman through about 16 underground bunker walls, presumably to his death. Don't know for sure, but I know that he is not having a good time if he's not dead. But again, back to Christopher Nolan and the Batman aspect, they really let him play and kind of have his vision and have his story there. But DC right now, it's just there's this huge struggle between the old money corporate interests that have held this Warner Brothers company for so long, and the fan service creative direction that the younger, arguably creative types want to have with it. A franchise cannot serve two houses. You're either going to be with Warner Brothers or you're going to be with DC, unless they can come together the way they should be and make a good movie, not just for themselves, not just for their bank accounts, but for us, the fans. So far, it looks interesting. I'm not still super on board. You haven't won me over just yet, because you got to do better than just Batman. Now, as with anybody else or anything of these characters, if you're into them, great, awesome. You go ahead and love them up, but it's just not my cup of tea. So hopefully they'll do well, because as a Marvel fan, I can only say that competition breeds excellence, and DC, you've been slacking right now. Thank you again for watching. If you like it, please comment below, or like it below. Remember to subscribe if you want more of this. I'm going to try to do more of these talks, nerd style. I just did a video on Power Rangers, if you haven't seen that yet. Two Angry Ducks is the channel. Again, thank you so much for listening. Anything you need to know, let me know, and have a good weekend. Unless it's not the weekend anymore, then have a good day.